Hello and welcome back to Disney Jaws Mac 1965. Today is something different. It's the first vlog in a series of 2 all about our trip to the Warner Brothers Studios in down in London, which is the Harry Potter tour, which was amazing. This was our night before. We went down the night before, and this was us driving around to find our hotel, which was the DoubleTree Hilton. We always stop in DoubleTree Hiltons because we know there is a certain standard for accessibility, and although the toilets are low and I can bring my own adaptation for that, we know the bed's sufficient height for me to transfer over properly, with no chance of falling, which is good. And here's our room. There was a bit of a problem with this room though. There was a really tight swing into the room. The door was quite small as well, so that was a bit of a problem. This was the menu for the restaurant. The restaurant was called Chaplin's, and I have to say there was a lot of TV workers around, and we actually bumped into Diane, Buswell and Chris from Strictly Come Dancing. Didn't take any photos of them because obviously they didn't want to be bothered. They were there chilling after their rehearsals at Elstree studio. And this is us pulling into the Warner Brothers Studios. There was lots of people to show you where to park. We were going to park obviously in the disabled slot. I had my blue badge with me, and we also had my ticket to the carer ticket, free ticket for Mick to pick up. So if you are disabled and you need a carer, and I do, because if there's any toilet issues, or that I need to get changed or anything afterwards, I just need help with it all. And if I get into tricky spots with my chair or anything. So it was £53 for my ticket, and then Mick got in free. So for a day out, that wasn't, London way, that wasn't too bad. And there's the entrance. Blue badge holders places are quite near the entrance, and as I say, they will direct you to where you need to be to park up. We were one of the first tours in the morning. Our tour was 10:30 a.m, hence the reason we stayed down in Elstree the night before. So we were there during Halloween, and it was the period of the dark arts with the Death Eaters, and the hall all decorated up into Halloween. So this is where you come in. The ladies on the front desk were really helpful because we weren't sure what to do with ourselves when we first went in, but they guided you to where you needed to be. This is one of the first sights that hit you. It just shows you the marvellous detail they put together for this film. Down the bottom there is the food hall, so if you've ordered afternoon tea or anything like that, you'll head that way, and again they will guide you to where you need to be. that is where you go into the studio tour, just where you see that man going around the corner and all those queuing things. Now, those are a nightmare to those of us that are in wheelchairs, but they did let us go through and not have to go in and out all that chicane, which was really not good for me at all. So just I've videoed the same bit more or less here, but it is quite detailed, and you do need to see where we were at. So there we are, close up of the food hall. The hot chocolate is very nice. And this is us going through to the first part of the tour. Now don't forget, my perspective of being in a wheelchair is lower than most people's. So you will often see people's backsides. I'm sorry, I do try. Now this is interesting to me, this bit, because I was never able to see that when it first opened. I was never able to see the room under the stairs where Harry lived, and they've actually moved it into this bit, an open bit now, and it used to be too tight for wheelchairs, so it's better because I can actually see the start of the tour properly. But as you can see, as always happens with me, I have to hand back and let other people go first, so I've then got a clear view of what's going on. So there we go, there's the room under the stairs where Harry lived. These were wider, this was still annoying going up and down, but there was a lot to see while you were getting into place for your tour, which was good. It tells you all the background to the Privet Drive and the way Harry was treated. Wasn't good, and then it takes you through all the ins and outs of each film and when it was put together, photos and of it being directed, the actors in it, an idea of all the action that took part in that film. And then you go into an area where they ask you not to film, which is where you watch a short overview of really the films themselves. And then you come to the two big doors that opens you up into the Great Hall of Hogwarts. They always choose somebody whose birthday it is to open up the area. They often choose people as well who have dressed, and there you go, these little pumpkins normally hanging down. It's the candles magically, but it's the pumpkins hanging down for Halloween. Now, the time in the hall, in the Great Hall, is limited, and this is one of the frustrating things if you are in a wheelchair. Because obviously people are not always brilliant and let you in to see things, and they have their own agenda of what they want to look at, and you are, because you're time limited, they will push their way in front. It's human nature, you know. But it does get a bit frustrating because sometimes I can't really see what's going on fully, especially vlogging and want to get some good footage. So the footage is a bit sporadic in here. I do apologise. And it's laid out for a Halloween party with lots of goodies, which is where the pupils would have been. And there is examples of all the house uniforms. So you've got 4 houses, door being there. And then you come down to this main front bit and they show you costumes of the ghosts, quite appropriately ready for Halloween. And how the ghosts work with the headless ghost there that was played by John Cleese. And then in the background you've got the other costumes of the main characters, the tutors and the people that all worked in Hogwarts itself. And of course, particular interest was things to do with Dame Maggie Smith, as she sadly passed on not so long ago. In fact, one thing that did hit us as we went round this time, and I say it's 7 years since we've been, was that you did get a lot more detail, you learnt a lot more, and there was a lot more emphasis on the costumes and how the films were made, which was really good. We enjoyed it much more. See, this is my problem. I go and try and have a look at something, try and move it one way, and then get blocked in another way. And then they call time, then they ask you to move, which is really frustrating. But the thing they say that hit us over and over again was how many of the actors that had been in these films had passed on, which was really sad. Because obviously Alan Rickman has, obviously Dame Maggie Smith, Robbie Coltrane. It's quite sad. And then we went through into the more detailed part. And this is the part that shows you the particular scenes from certain movies, like the Ice Palace scene, the costumes that went with that, which are very elegant, I have to say, and how they made some of the beauty, some of the props look so amazing. Fabric used, so there's no money spared at all. And then onto the wigs, which there was quite a bit of ginger. So there's quite a lot of Weasleys. Nice, which you see in the movies a lot, is the beautiful paintings that they have all over the walls, and these were all over on display to have a look at. And of course the staircase that moves of it really was wood, and they were stood up, and not reality, not stone that they were made to look like. Now this was the set for the dorm where Harry Potter, Harry Potter and Weasley resided, and they're very old-fashioned, not particularly comfy looking beds. Also showed you the backside of a set and how that was put together. The area of spells, and of course this was of particular interest, with it being the dark arts. In potion making class, what would go on? Detailed set that one was. It was interesting to see a lot of the props as well. Again, how much detail had been put in these things. It was incredible. Some more of those portraits that would move about in Hogwarts. And if you weren't sure of anything, there was cast members everywhere that you could go and speak to who members, people that's Disney, the people that work there that would answer your questions, whatever you wanted to ask or do, and wanted to know about the film. They would be really knowledgeable because they were big fans themselves. Beautiful area that was built for the main man, the head teacher. Sorry, you've got a bit of my handbag there. Again, I'm having to move about sometimes. This was my first time, by the way, in my new wheelchair, to actually have a proper trip out. This is one of the whole purposes of going out and giving it a bit of a wheel. And guess who hasn't really sussed out yet how to vlog properly? Doing it nearly when Nick's feet over. Oh heavens, I didn't realise there was this much in this. That was it. We were getting ready here now for the first parade of the Death Eaters. Do you know, the staff asked you to stand back and keep out the way, and people were just not listening. the Death Eaters would parade such as this, and then they would move around the different areas and then end up in the station with the train, Hogwarts Express, and just near there they would actually do a dance and pose for photos. So if you didn't get photos, then this bit on your video or your film, you do have lots of other chances to get them in. Sometimes it would just be one single Death Eater you would see, sometimes it would be 4 or 5. So depending on what's going on. Then you would kind of follow them round. This is back in the area of the Master's Study. There's Phoenix. As most of you know, I used to be a head teacher before I had to retire due to ill health.
Oversaw the restoration of the intricate locking system, which was originally designed
far better head teachers to do than ever I had.
iconic effects throughout the Harry Potter series, such as the door to the Chamber of Secrets and the door for Hogwarts in 713.
And this was all the green screen effects, and you could have your picture taken if you were more able than I to look as if you were riding a broomstick, etc. And this shows you inside the bus. And, you get to see fully outside. You go there. Lots of props and things outside. And also, of course, Privet Drive, which is kind of like the middle of the tour. I like the next bit. These they're my favourite characters in the film. You could press parts of the display to make parts of the set move, which was good. And of course you've got costumes. One of the parts for Julie Walters, who is Mrs. Weasley. She's one of my heroes. Great actress.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Season of the Making of Harry Potter, Harry Potter Art Station. Please come this way if you would like to see our
This area doesn't feel as cluttered as it did, so it's good that it feels a bit more open spaced and you can see more.
Looking back from the first film, all the way to the Goblet of Fire, the fourth film, there was no kind of set movement when doing combat. And you notice that between those 4 films,
Magic
changed quite a lot because there was no set structure. However, from the original Phoenix, I think onwards, they brought on choreographer called called Mr. Paul Harris, and he choreographed all of the wand combat scenes.
Again, you
and
could have a
developed
lesson
wand combat,
in how
what
to
we know today. Now,
use your wand properly. And then this is coming to the end of the first part. We're about to go into the wooded area. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe as it really does help our channel.